leader. War Admiral 2.5 for 3.
Next for it is in the third of the racetrack inside. Seattle still drawing alongside again.
War Emblem is still there. War Emblem, and he's pulling away. He's got another gear.
Down the stretch they come in the Derby. Wheel away takes command.
Lionheart is all heart. Smarty Jones is all out. And here is the first undefeated winner of the Kentucky Derby since Seattle's low of 1976.
It's the most exciting 2 minutes in sports, and it's just 12 days away. It's time for the Kentucky Derby Morning Workout Show, presented by TwinSpires.com. Under the Twin Spires of Churchill Downs in Louisville, Kentucky. Temperature in the low 50s. Main track is fast for what should be a busy Monday morning. Let's take a look at the headlines for today. And yesterday we had a worker, Kentucky Derby hopeful Pluska Parfait, the UAE Derby winner, worked, but unfortunately no published time. It was so foggy that we didn't get a clocking, but Brendan Walsh did, 49-2 according to his stopwatch. Some major workers today by my standards. Tacitus, maybe even improbable, set for Monday breezes. And Omaha Beach fitted with a new shoe. New shoes, in fact, by blacksmith Ben Kraft. Flew into Louisville from Southern California. A little bit of a problem with a quarter crack, but hasn't been much trouble as Omaha Beach has won 2 graded stake races in a row. Joe Christopher alongside James Scully. And James, so much going on, my man. It's that time of year again.
It is that time of year. I'm happy to be here. Good morning, Joe. Yes, it's 145th running of the Kentucky Derby this year. It's exclusively for 3-year-olds. And the race presents a couple significant first-time challenges in the 1.25 mile distance and the 20-horse field size. We have a very competitive field assembled this year. And I think we both agree it's important to watch and evaluate how these horses are coming into such an enormous test.
7:30 to 7:45 designated work times for the Kentucky Oaks horses and the Kentucky Derby horses. The Kentucky Derby horses will be wearing the yellow goldish saddle towel. The Kentucky Oaks, of course, the pink saddle towels. And I mentioned, James, we've got some pretty important workers today for the Kentucky Derby and the Kentucky Oaks. Beautiful Monday morning, fast track, exactly what you want to see.
Yes, and we've got the warm weather arrived this morning or coming this today. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of good horses on the track already, Joe, 12 days out from the Kentucky Derby.
In addition to the morning works, lots of great information. We're going to also have plenty of interviews on the backstretch. Third member of our team is Ed DeRosie. He's standing by with a man who has had 3,000 wins in his career, but is yet to start a horse in the Kentucky Derby. That's Brett Calhoun. Good morning, Ed.
Good morning, Joe. Yeah, I'm alongside Brett Calhoun, who has a busy morning himself. He's going to send By My Standards out for his penultimate Kentucky Derby work. Brett, thanks for joining us. Tell the viewers what you're hoping to see this morning.
We're hoping to see a nice, relaxed breeze, just like his last 2 up here. He's gotten across the ground great. Hope he continues to move across this track as well as he has his last 2. We're going to do a little bit more with him this morning. We're going to go with 3/4 this morning. We're working from the 5/8 pole on out to the 7/8. Just want to see the energy level like he's been showing, relaxed, and how he's covering the ground. Just a good solid, a little bit more, a little bit stronger breeze today, a little bit more distance than we've been going, and then we'll give him something easy next week.
All right, you mentioned the previous 2 works. We do have footage of that April 4th work, Brett. What did you see that day that let you know this horse bounced out of that Louisiana Derby and is coming into this race what you want?
Like I said, just the energy level and the ease that he covered the ground. It was just like a gallop. It looked more like a gallop than a breeze, and I think he went in 48 and changed and galloped out phenomenally. So he's just looked really good across this racetrack.
We've had the pleasure of seeing him twice now. This will be his 3rd work here, and it's helped generate some buzz for the race as one of the few horses here. I know the owner's on hand today for the work as well. It's had to be a lot of fun being with him along for this ride.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of fun hanging out with Chester and Jennifer. They're a fun couple to hang out with. They love the horse racing. They love this horse, and they've been around for a lot of his works and obviously his races, so it's fun having them around.
And Joe mentioned you've won 3,000 races, never the Kentucky Derby. What would a win in this race mean to you?
Well, that's the pinnacle. We've won a couple Breeders' Cup races, which are phenomenal, but, I think everybody in this industry, everything's about the Kentucky Derby. I mean, you see someone on the street, they ask you what you do. You tell them, the first thing I ask you ever won the Kentucky Derby? Like just everybody does it, So, it's the pinnacle in this sport.
You mentioned getting a little more out of him today. Coming out of the work next few days and then into his last work, what's the plan for him leading up to the Derby in 12 days?
We'll just do some schooling. We'll do some paddock schooling and things like that, just some basic stuff. Get him recovered from this work well, come back next weekend.